Draymond Green is absolutely a fixture and pillar of the Golden State Warriors. Without him, it doesn't happen. Steve Kerr has said it. Steph has said it. Clay has said it. It doesn't happen. And if anyone with a basketball mind, he actually watched them, you know, without him, that offense doesn't run. That defense absolutely doesn't get accomplished the way that they've been able to do it over the last 8 years. But with him opting out of his player option, does this absolutely mean that he's trying to take a team-friendly extended deal, or could he really be looking at the free agency market? Let's talk about it. Listen, if you're new to the channel, this is P.kidd Talks NBA. I appreciate the support. Like, share, subscribe. Let's get into it. Draymond Green, for the most part, people have already said he is not really looking to go anywhere. And that's just the general feel and consensus of it. He may resign, he may not. It's one of those things where ultimately the overall tone is that he's going to be in the Golden State jersey. It's about how much and what the negotiation is. The problem is with him opting out and with them, unfortunately, not necessarily having traded Jordan Poole yet, what that deal looks like, how they can get that done, and if they can get him a number that's actually feasible for him for what he's looking for now, still kind of up in the air. And with him testing free agency, it doesn't mean another team can't come along and give him a very enticing offer. One of the things you have to keep in mind is that Draymond Green, although a fixture, did not get the bag like Jordan Poole did. In fact, one could argue that Jordan Poole got too much and that Draymond, for what he's brought to the team, got too little. For someone who does all that he does, even though it doesn't always show up on a stat sheet, you see that offense run without Draymond. You see what happens there, and it's like, eh. And we've also got a taste of what a Jordan Poole offense looks like. He got the bag, and all of a sudden, he just lost minutes, lost rotation. Now, the incident between Jordan Poole and Draymond Green does have to be considered. How did that affect chemistry? How did that affect the team going forward? Things of that nature. But if you have to be a better in person, let's think about it. If you're looking to extend Steph's prime, which Steph Curry is the most important Warrior, don't get me wrong, but if you're looking to extend his prime, are you choosing Jordan Poole or Draymond Green? You're choosing Draymond Green. It's not even a question. So with that being the case, you have to sit there and say, well, hey, we have to take care of this guy. He's responsible for our championships. Without him, it doesn't get done. How do we do that? Now, here is where things get interesting, because we kind of foresaw, and there was some speculation throughout the season, that there was a slim chance and possibility that the Warriors go a different direction. The tone and everything that kind of carried with him and Jordan Poole's incident was kind of heavy. If you remember earlier in the season, everyone was talking about this may be the last of Draymond, simply because Jordan Poole had just got paid. You saw them trying to go younger, things of that nature. And that tone kind of shifted as you saw Jordan Poole throughout the rest of the season. Only because you saw the fallout from the incident. The fallout for the incident absolutely could have been and probably is one of the reasons why Jordan Poole has such a very up and down season. It's kind of hard to sit there and have that type of camaraderie and chemistry that is the heartbeat of what they do when you had an incident like that and how public it was made. We live in the era of social media. Everyone saw the punch around the world. Everyone saw the punch around the world. Like, you saw that replayed thousands of times, and everyone even jokes about it to this day. It's one of those things where back in the day, fights would happen. People could sit there and they would sweep it under the rug. It wouldn't be anything. You heard about it. You didn't see it. But we saw it. Big difference. The connection to that is different. It's a whole different emotional response. And if Jordan Poole is struggling with that, one could argue that's a good reason for it. So it's kind of an up and down thing. It's not a surefire thing that Draymond absolutely comes back to the Warriors. Why that's the temperament, it's not a for sure thing. And that's something that Woj has even said, and a lot of people have said. Like it one of the teams that actually could come along with an interesting offer, who could use him, who he's actually spoke highly of, is the Dallas Mavericks. And I wouldn't put that past Draymond to consider that. I believe the Dallas Mavericks, since they got rid of Christian Wood, they are very, very suspect on defense. They absolutely have two dynamic scorers who they kind of need someone to kind of break that up, get that offense rolling, and knows how to play in something like that. Draymond would fit right into what they're trying to build. and anchor a lot of things. One, he would absolutely help the offense that they're trying to run, trying to separate who dominates the ball at certain times and making sure that things get into motion between Kyrie and Luka. Because those two, I don't care what anybody says, from a scoring perspective, the only other backcourt that kind of challenges them, in my opinion, from a skill set perspective, things of that nature, is the Phoenix Suns at this point. Clay and Steph. Clay is not what he used to be. Steph obviously is a freak of nature. He's a point guard. But combined, they do not compete with Kyrie and Luka, just from a scoring perspective. Not saying legacy wise or anything like that. Hold your horses. I know a lot of Golden State fans are going to be like, oh my God, I can't believe. Nah, trust me. I understand what it is. But right now, you can't really compare. Clay can't really compete with Kyrie right now if he's on the floor. And I wouldn't necessarily stack him up against Luka. It just is what it is. But Draymond absolutely fixes some of the issues they've been having. He absolutely has had high praise for Jason Kidd. It's one of those things where out of all the teams he could go to and all the things that he has actually mentioned publicly, it all signs point back to the Dallas Mavericks. And that would be the only thing I would say. Outside of that, I have no idea where he would go. Mind you, Draymond is a phenom as far as defensive presence and just understanding the game of basketball. His IQ is off the charts. So someone like that on your team, in your locker room, does wonders. There's a lot of younger teams that could do it. Even the Detroit Pistons, although I don't think that's a real possibility, but let's just say he wanted to go back to Michigan and end his career with a space that could absolutely pay him and have like a hometown feel. The Detroit Pistons could absolutely do it. You see how they went all out for Monty Williams just to coach that young team? You can expect them to actually go out and get a vet so they don't have a Memphis situation or anything like that, and they can absolutely develop. It's a lot of different things that could happen because Draymond, as much as people like to sit there and say Draymond isn't worth, I mean, hey, Draymond is worth a lot. Just from the IQ alone, just from what he actually brings, Draymond is absolutely, I would say from an IQ perspective, floor general in a sense, as far as how he can help orchestrate and be that floor general for coach. It's not a lot of people in the league who could do it on the level that he does it with the IQ that he has. So he's valuable from that perspective. But I want to hear your thoughts. Do you think that this is just one of those things where he can just restructure a team-friendly deal, they extend him and things of that nature? Or do you really think there's real smoke? It could go either way. I personally feel like he stays in a Warriors jersey and retires in a Warriors jersey, but I would not put it past him getting the bag from Mark Cuban and being in a Dallas jersey with the opportunity to play with Luka, who he's had high praise for. But again, put in the comments. Whether it's love, whether it's hate, I'll be in there with you. Appreciate you checking out P.kidd Talks NBA. Peace.